Okay.
So, and I remember, like I grew up, and he's so good with his family. He's so good. And after he dies, he gets sick. He fell on the floor. He stepped on some from the olives.
The pits.
The pit
Yeah.
from she stepped one of that, and he's tall guy and muscular, and he fell and he broke his hip. So they took him to the hospital, and the second day it's there, and that time the doctors and surgeries and stuff like that, they put some cast and stuff like that, I don't know. And because I didn't be there that time, I be in Canada, I go to Canada, I get married. So, and then after a couple of days, he complained to my mom, and he said, I have a pain in my chest. So, and back here. So my brothers and my sister and my mom, they call the doctor and say, what is this? From the felling? It's like, we don't know what it is. So they make some tests, they do some tests of him, and they find cancer on his colon and his lungs. So my brother, Steve, he doesn't believe it, so he brought another doctor from outside, pay, and the same thing. So the doctor told them, in 8 days, the most, he's going to be dead. And that's true. In that week, he dies. So anyways, my husband, that time, he's in Greece with my daughter Lee. So, but they leave the same day back to Canada. And they can't stay for the funeral. So they come back, I find out my dad dies, and I get it very hard because my brother Stratos told me they find under his pillow a little cassette which I sing for him some song. The whole time he sing, he has the little recorder and put the cassette and hear my voice. And I said, I never come back to Greece. My father died, I'm not gonna come back there. So my mom called me and said, why? And I said, I don't wanna see you. I don't wanna see anybody down there. Greece for me is done. I'm never gonna come back. My father died, I'm never gonna come back to Greece. And I used to go every year, every summer to Greece. So I didn't go to Greece for 4 years. And then my sister called me and said, Maria, my mom is not good, and you have to come sometimes. So Felix said, you have to go. So I went there, and I find out from my brother, who is his dad Jew. He's my hero Jew. exactly like my dad. And he told me he married my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. Her father, it's a priest in Greece. So I saw him and he says, your dad, he's a holy man. So, and my brother, I said, what your father-in-law means about dad? He says, the day for his funeral, we take him to the cemetery and it starts rain so hard and wind. And the priest say, where is this? And anyways, everybody sit there on the rain. So they bury my father and soon they cover the grave. The soon they cover the grave, its sun come out. I don't know. It's something from up there. Nobody knows. But the priests, it's some families my father helped for years. Like I said, we're not rich, but always my dad, if see somebody doesn't have a food on the table, especially Christmas, Easter, those two, and it's go to the supermarket and she get a few things on the box, and he make my brothers to take the boxes outside in the couple of houses in the neighborhood, which they very, very, very poor. So, but we never say anything. He told us, if you hear out there and they say, we find some food outside the door, and we don't know, you're not going to open your mouth and say, my dad and my mom and my family bring that 2 o'clock in the morning on your door.
So your dad would take food and deliver it to people's homes that needed it secretly, and
it's
not
three families. Not,
three families.
Three families.
And then tell you, do
Nobody
not
knows
say anything. No one knows. So he didn't want any accolades.
Only the priest know.
Only the priest knew.
Yeah, and they say to those families, they be on my father's funeral, and it says, you remember the food you find Christmas and Easter in your door? Yeah. Do you remember the food you find outside your door? Yeah. Do you remember the food? Yeah. It says, that's the man who delivered the food.
The priest said it? The priest said that? Wow, that's touching.
So that way the people, those three families find out. So, and I remember a lot of time, Emma's age, it's rained really hard one night, and on the neighborhood, across the street, it's like a house which is very, I don't know how to explain. It's like
it was built like the water would
the
rush
paving,
down.
yeah, and every time it's go inside that house.
Floods.
But that night, it's rained so hard. The water going there, and we hear like 12 o'clock in the night, screaming and yelling, we drown, we drown.
This is a neighbor's house?
Yeah, across the street, like a Helen's and mine.
Yeah.
So my mom opened the kitchen window and it says, Emmanuel, Mr. Peter's house is full of water. They drown, they screaming. So that family, they have 2 children. Nicola and Irini. Irini is like a very sick girl and
Nico.
very,
Nico.
very huge girl. Very huge girl. And I remember my daddy and my dad and my brother Stratos, they're good swimmers, so they swim in the water and they go, and my dad almost drowned, have on his back Irini to take her out. So they saved my brother and my father. They saved those two children. The boy, like, I don't know, it's 12, 13, and the girl older than him, but she could walk. And the parents, I don't know how they can help the kids. They try, like, to save themselves. I don't know what happened in there at that time, but I remember my dad carried Irini on his back, and he almost drowned. And the thing I love about my dad, he go to fight the Germans, and the Greece sent them up to Albany and to fight. And I remember my dad, I don't know, πώς τα λένε τα κρυοπαγήματα, έπαθε στα πόδια του και ήταν να τα κόψουν.
Yeah, but what is that?
It's like, it's fight,
Oh, frostbite.
yeah. And I remember come
Albania?
back, yeah,
Where was it? Where was he? Albania?
yeah.
Okay.
And after the war, come back to Athens, they say, we need to cut your legs. And my father says, never. I'm not gonna do that. How I'm gonna get better? The doctor say, yeah, maybe, but maybe you leave. He says, no, I'm not gonna cut my legs. I need to work to feed my family. So, and see, he told us
He was
stories.
frostbite. It was frostbite.
Yeah.
His legs, his lower legs. all
He
had
told us
frostbite.
stories about his young age, about the world. It's so many things about my dad. So,
Dad, what year did he die when you were in Canada?
Felix,
What year did
niya po hispaya to yung
What
mula
year
to
did he die,
naramana.
Dad? What year did he die? Was it before or after your mom died? Or your dad?
Before his father.
Before. So it was in the
his father.
70s?
I'd
Probably?
say about
No,
80.
80?
I'd
Okay.
say like 80, 82, and then Dad's mom died.
Probably 79.
79, 80. Okay.
Felix's
I
father
was
died
5.
after a year.
I was like 6,
After
yeah,
a
5
year.
or 6. One.
I used to go very often to Greece now, then.
What year your dad died?
82.
Okay, my father died 81.
81. Does anybody have any questions about Emmanuel?
He was 88 when he died? No.
He died
No.
72 years old.
I had a comment.
Yeah.
She was
Listen.
the best man. Actually, the best two men that I ever met was her dad and Stratos.
Her
And
brother.
my brother.
Yeah. Like I love Stratos more than my brothers.
Wow.
I can say that. Yeah.
My brother.
He was. I mean, you know, it's very hard to meet people like him. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Now,
if you
Stratos is the
excuse
guy.
me, I want to say one thing about my father-in-law.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get to that. Stratos is the guy that mom is in that picture. You know that picture of her at 20 years old and 16 and her older brother? That's him. That's Stratos. And Stratos died in a car accident, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because
Very young car accident.
I want to say
How old was he when he died? Stratos?
Stratos 50.
50.
And he
50.
had three kids,
And they had 3 kids.
He's 50.
Yeah, 50.
And
Okay.
if you
50.
You're gonna be
Was it 50?
I don't think he was 50.
I don't think so, Maria.
eh?
No.
No way, he died when you guys were living in Florida.
Yeah.
And he's younger than, no, he's not younger.
No, Maria.
He's just-
No, he wasn't
I
50.
don't think he's 50.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so mom wants to tell a story. Emma.
Okay.
Out. Emma.
I want to say something about
Hey.
my father-in-law.
Dad. Mom's going to tell a story about your dad.
I don't know. I love my father by blood, but the same thing, I love Lefteri Karavasilis. He's the most, for me, the most wonderful man. And Ty, he remind me you the way you love Lily. He always tell me, he always says, Maro. He called me Maro. It's like a Maro Maria, it's almost,
It's like a nickname.
It's like Kiki.
yeah, it's always, he tell me how much he loved me, and he always says, you my favor.
He was joking.
I used to take the saver and I saved my father-in-law. I used to cut his hair. I used to tell him a jokes. And I never gonna forget, I visit the Crete Island once. And I'm pregnant with my daughter Lee. And one morning we wake up and he said, Mario, we're gonna go downtown,
This is Kanya.
Kanya. And he says, get ready. My mother-in-law says, Lefteri, are you crazy? She's pregnant. She's ready to give it a birth. And
They want to drive her
it's
on
gonna-
on a motorcycle?
On the motorcycle. Yeah, on the motorcycle. He says, nothing gonna happen. I wanna take Mario to eat bugatsa. It's a
And
special
Bugatti is
thing.
what?
Well, you were right. Lee was born in January. You couldn't have been that close to deliver, but you were still pretty pregnant.
Big.
Yeah. Bugatsa's that stuff, you know, the warm,
Cheese.
mustardy in the middle of the
Yeah.
flaky dough.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
like the bugatsa Bobby made.
Oh, Bugatti. Oh,
But
yes.
bugatsa. But
Yes.
in Crete Island, they have a special way to make the bugatsa.
Okay.
They make it with a little bit salty cheese.
Okay.
So anyway, but that's excuse. So he can take me to Kanya. So my mom says, you crazy. You never learn. My mother-in-law is a little bit more strict. So we went to the Kanya and he took me to the store who sell makeup, which I never wore makeup. The first makeup I wear, my father-in-law bought it for me.
Wow.
What's he trying to say?
And
Doll
he
yourself
took
up,
me
honey.
to the store and says, you young, get some stuff to fix yourself. I say, I never wear it. I don't even take it off my eyebrows.
Right.
So it says, get something, it's present for me. So I remember she took me a lipstick, mascara, and blue eyeshadow. So we went to the Kanya, and I'm so like, oh, Mom, look, Dad buy me some makeup. My mother-in-law look at me, and she look at my father-in-law and says, Lefteri, she's so beautiful. She doesn't need makeup.
Oh.
why you bought her makeup? It says, because you never wear it, it doesn't mean she can wear it. She's young. Let her fix herself. Nice.
There she goes.
And that's the first night.
And what happened?
I remember every morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, he call it trajana. It's like a special dough, but very, very thin, and you boil it and you make
It's a little
chips, you
sour.
put tomatoes.
A little sour on the
Yeah.
taste.
And she come and pull my leg, and it says, Mario, wake up, the soup is ready.
So wait, this was
So-
so this was when you were visiting Hanya in the house that Iftihi grew up in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
At that time, that house
Yeah.
is so small. It's 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
One is a kitchen, one bedroom.
They didn't have the back.
Yeah, they didn't have the back room. And all of a sudden, what we know is after Yaya started wearing makeup, 2 more kids came.
More kids came. Uh-oh.
So it's like
Kids
a,
came.
No, I like
One more kid.
No,
It's a
after Lee. Oh,
great-
Chris was the oldest. That's it.
it's a great,
That's it.
2 more kids.
great man.
Okay, so one other thing. Kudos to you, Dad, about Eleftherios. One thing about Emmanuel, going back, what's the translation for Emmanuel?
Christmas.
No, it's
Oh.
he is
God.
here.
Jesus.
It's a Jesus
Emmanuel.
name.
Yeah.
Come on.
Christ
What is
is
it?
here.
Christ is here?
Yeah. I thought it was like Emmanuel means Christ is
God, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's God's gift or whatever. Christ, God is here. All I know is that that's a fantastic story that now we have documented. Thank you, Dad. Let's hear it for Emmanuel Eleftherios.
Bravo.